Well, alrighty then, my friends. Alrighty, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. I am, as always, the host, Romedy. I am here again with Miss Inedra. She has joined us for another sequence here. I am much appreciative of her doing that. Today we have big things to do. Big things to do. And by big things, I mean we're going to put a couple of villagers into some minecarts and we're going to push them around against their will because that is what we do here. In Romedy world, we put people and then kidnap them and move them in other places. So yeah, here we go with that. Inedra and I have been busy preparing the building that we started last time. And by preparing, I mean we're getting ready to make it into a villager spawner. So when we return to 1.8 here on the Croatia server, then we can have some villagers over there to harvest our stuff, which is what we're going to do. And I think, time permitting for both of us, I think what we're going to try to do is work on that building just a little bit so that it can go ahead and actually start to look like a building of sorts. So yeah, you see me right here. I am in my old villager spawner where I had just many of the villagers. So we're just going to capture a couple of them in minecarts here real quick. And once we have that done, then we're going to go ahead and move them where we want them to go. Nobody got into that minecart, so that was absolutely useless. That was not a very good attempt. Not a good attempt by me there. That is my own fault. You go back into their minecart. You go back in. Ah! Okay, good. There's oh, he's even a farmer villager. That is good. So what I need to do is I need to get this rail that I had and lay the rail down right there so that he can move freely. And now we need another of the minecarts. Okay, you villager, you go get in. Haha, I got you both in the minecarts. Okay, good. Now you need to go away. Go away from me. Okay. And as you see now, we just replace our furnace. And now to get out of here, we go ahead and just put the furnaces back down. And now the villagers should be on their way. Actually, I'm going to fix my rail back over here real quick. Go. And there we go. Oops. No, that is not how we go. Now there we go. Okie dokie, let's go get the villagers. You should not be coming back to me. You need to be going away. We push you away.
Oh my god.
What you find?
That I had the wrong microphone on this whole time.
Awesome.
So even when I had it muted.
Yeah. Oh, that's
everything...
okay. All we've been hearing is clicky, which is fine. It tells me that you do work, so that's fine. Here come the villagers. They go down the rails. They go down the little rails right now. Whee! Whee! Okay, so if you're not familiar with the term villager spawner, what I mean is we're going to build a like an artificial village down here. And in building the artificial village, we allow the villagers to go ahead and breed and make more of them, which is what the village obviously does. Now, the spawner part that we're talking about, the spawner kicks in when we build this in such a way so that certain of the villagers are allowed to exit. And that allows us to kind of have a surplus of villagers sometimes, which is exactly what we want. So I'm just going to put some lights in here for right now. There's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just putting down some lights so that we can kind of protect our villagers. And then we shall build the actual spawner. Okay, so the mechanics change a little bit in 1.8. I don't know exactly how they changed, so I'm not going to cover that. We're doing this here in 1.7, which I know is now old. But in 1.7, what you need to have the maximum of the village is to have 48 doors that are in a building. And the game defines the building as door facing outside and door facing inside. And what I mean by that is there is more light on one side of the door than there is on the other side of the door. And so right now, because we do not have a roof put on right here, the doors are not acting as a village, and that is fine. They will change that in the near future. So the villagers, they breed based on the number of doors, and that's why I say we need 48 of the doors, because that is kind of the minimum number, or the maximum number. So if every 3 doors allows us to have a villager. So if we have 48 of the doors, that gives us the maximum of 16 of the villagers, which is kind of what we are going for. So down here on this floor is what I'm going to do. We're going to place the wood down. And by doing this, we're just kind of going to build the inside of the spawner here for us. So on the creation server, there are a couple other things we need to think about. And the biggest thing that we need to think about is every Friday, the server will go and remove... Oh, look at that. We already has a little villager. They have already bred. They're in their minecarts, and somehow they got busy in their minecarts. So he has a tiny little villager running around already. Okay, so that
is quite the feat.
I know. I don't know how you two are talented. Can you teach me your secrets?
Acrobatic.
Teach me your secrets. Is this a new type of, like, in the minecart breeding? Is this something that we should be aware of? Like, can you give me a manual for this? That's okay. Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's a little priest.
I do kind of want to know, but not really want to know, so that's okay. But yes, so we have...
Baby has a mustache.
You know,
Sorry.
I always
My
find
texture
it...
pack gave it.
I always find it interesting when they breed a little miniature blacksmith, because for me the blacksmiths always have these full-grown gray beards, and I kind of worry, are you a Benjamin Button that you're giving to me? Is this the world? Like, have you just birthed the baby that is actually an old man who will now grow backwards? Is that what you're doing? Okay. Enough being silly. Is it ever enough being silly? I don't think so. Silly, you can never have enough silly, I think. You always need more. Anyway, so what we're going to do, you with the hayseed in your mouth, on my texture pack anyway, you have a hayseed in your mouth because you're a farmer. Farmer, we're going to move you here into the middle, and now we also want this guy, this other priest here, to come into the middle with us. What is your trade? You give me... Oh, I have actually auto-traded with you. I wonder if we can get more glowstone from you before we put you in here for good. That is okay. Now you, farmer, I know I have not traded with. You give me apples, which I don't need. So you can just come in here, whatever. So as you notice, we're going to use the fact that the babies, when they become babies, are only 1 block tall. And that is important for us. They're only 1 block tall. So in order to make the village a breeder, we are just going to cut them off at the knees, essentially. We just break them so that they can only see the 1 block. Now you over here are going to wander around, and I'm going to let you do that. I want some glass now, because we're going to glass up people's in, and then we're going to take them out of the minecart. Even though they can still breed in the minecarts, we're going to take them out of the minecarts. So where's my glass? I had glass over here. Did I take it? No, here's the glass. Okay, good. We get the glass. Okie dokie. So to start off with, I'm actually going to lock them in. So we can make a breeder a little more efficient. Is what we're talking about. We're also going to mob-proof it just a little bit. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by these guys breeding into minecarts. What was going on is every Friday on the server they run what is called a mob sweep, and we do the mob sweep so that on the server we don't get overrun by too many of the mobs, because people like to have their own little animal farms, you know, and they like to have the auto chicken farms and all these other things. But what people don't understand is every entity that they have is something that must be processed by the server as an entity, and even the best of the servers, if they are only a singular server, can only process so many of the entities before they just kind of break. And that is what causes lag, because the server cannot keep up with enough of it. So what the administrator on the creation server did is every Friday he has the server go ahead and remove a certain number of the entities. But he only does this in certain ways. And he only does this in chunks. Minecraft is cut up into chunks. He only does this in chunks that have too many of the entities already in them. And I'm not going to give you the numbers, because then you could find ways to cheat the system, kind of like I am right now. But I'm not going to give you the numbers. All we're going to say is that what I expect to happen is that because this is essentially a 4-chunk area in this building, Every now and then, one of these villagers is going to be removed by the server for lag because I have too many of the villagers. And this breeder is what is going to allow us to maintain a village out here. The other thing that's going to happen is they're going to get killed by monsters like zombie apocalypses and those other things. Well, having these two guys here that are going to be protected is going to make sure that the zombies cannot eradicate all of the village out here. So it's just going to allow us to have many of the things. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, I will murder my villagers. I'm probably going to murder this priest down the road. Just because I don't actually want to have all of, like, priests and librarians and blacksmiths. Now, one of them is okay, but I don't need all of them out here. What I really need are farmers, because the farmers are the ones who will come out here and they will harvest the crops for us, which is kind of what we're wanting them to do. Now, I don't necessarily care if those crops are put anywhere or gone anywhere. It's just a realistic look and feel that we want. We want to have this little village kind of in the feudal term, so that we have this little village out here. They're going to look like they actually do stuff, and that's really the goal beyond everything else. So that's kind of what we're aiming at here. So I've talked a lot and told you many of the things, but really our breeder is just about done. It's really just about done. It's very easy to do, as you see. So these guys in here, what I'm going to do is they have just given us another little, so this guy is a librarian. This librarian, I'm going to push, maybe. Yep, I'm going to push him. Oh, and now the other guy got in there too. This is perfect. Okay. So there we have locked all 4 of those guys in there. So so that brings up an interesting subject. I locked 4 guys into the middle of my villager breeder, and they're making sons. I don't know how that happens. We're not going to talk about how that happens. That may be more inappropriate than we really need.
I always thought testificates breed through spores.
Oh, that's interesting. Are you guys using it? So that explains how they did their minecart thing then, if they were just using spores. Okay, I'm going to stop being...
It sounds like how they flirt, you know? It's just like, hey,
you know what?
I always later and breathe in my spores.
So what you're saying is the voices that they've been given, these is actually them like putting out the spores to each other? Is that what you're saying?
Possibly.
Okay, so they're essentially what you have just said is that these people are constantly aroused and they're constantly trying to get with the other people by giving them spores through their sounds. Plausible.
Yes.
Plausible. Highly inappropriate, but plausible. Okay. We go in here now and we finish.
Oh my god, no!
What happened?
The floor is not perfect, or this room is not the same on all sides, and my roof is... The roof I'm doing it calls for that, so I'm gonna have to rethink my roof.
Oh, okay. First world Minecraft problems. I have to rethink my roof because it's not perfect. Make sure I have a silk pick. Okay, so as you see in here, what I have now done, we have 4 of the villagers here locked in. We're going to let these 2 guys grow up so that they cannot leave. And now I'm going to get myself out of here by using my silk pick and breaking the glass. There we go. Villager spawner now done. I'm very happy with this. So now we can move on to some other things. We're going to move on to just the rest of the building. Really. So now we watch for these 2 guys to grow up and become old. I think it takes either 15 or 20 minutes for them to actually grow up and become old. But yes, you see all of our doors here at the base. These doors are going to allow our people to come out here and actually have direct access into the crops, which is ideal for what we want. So now that that is done, we are going to build a couple of maybe specialty type rooms in here. So we're going to have a room here for the librarian. I like that idea. We has like a little library for them. And I'm going to purposely go get these books from right here. We're going to remove these books. I do have a Silk Touch axe, but I'm not going to take the time to go get it because it would take me more time to go get the axe than to just break the books. Which, by the way, when I saw that enchant pop up, I was like, awesome, this is useless. And then a little voice in the back of my head was like, well, except for libraries. Which is true.
Yeah.
So there, we put you there, we make that look right. We let Inedra worry about her roof because that is her problem and not our problem. Right now, it will eventually be our problem, but that's okay.
Problem solved.
Yes. Okay, so here we get these books from over here. We only need one side that is going to be library, and that is perfectly just fine with me. Yeah, we have all of the books here. Somebody is saying no to me, and I do not appreciate that. You have to tell them that the answer is yes. I have taken all of the books. They cannot contradict me. I do in fact have their books. Oh, there's more books right here. I get more books. Okay. So, in addition to our villager spawner, I'm just going to take each of the different types of the villagers. So we'll have a librarian, we'll have a enchanter type person, and then we'll have a blacksmith. The butcher is to me kind of useless just because I don't eat. I'm a vegetarian in the Minecraft world. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't actually use the butchers. Hopefully, if I go ahead and build an area with each of these other villages, people will not just come by and murder them because they can murder them. I kind of expect that at some point they will be murdered, but you know, that's just people being jerks.
Yeah, they killed off my cat. I lost like 6 cats to people.
I don't understand. I will never understand. But I guess this is a child just exercising the power that the child has because they can, which I don't always agree with, but whatever. That is what they are going to do. Okie dokie. So over here we build in our little library, which I think is going to look something along the lines like this. I may not have enough books to cover this whole thing, and that's okay if I do not. There we go, and there we go, like this. There we go. So here on the bottom, we're just going to put some bookshelves. The librarian does not actually interact with these bookshelves whatsoever. There's no reason for me to do this other than just for aesthetic reasons. And now I'm going to go ahead and start adding in some of the glass. Actually, no, I don't.
Everything.
I don't want the glass. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said aesthetics are everything.
Yes, they are. I agree. Okay, so our little library room over here is now, I think, essentially done. So let's go. I need the enchanting room, and then I don't know what this would be. I guess this would be the butcher room. I don't know how to make a butcher room, but that's okay. So the enchanting room. I don't actually have an extra table. We can. What can we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even have enough of the bookshelves to put over here for that guy. I tell you what, we just use a different color. We use a little different wood to indicate that we're in a different area now. Nor do I really have a brewing stand of any sort, and that's okay too. But
I have an extra brewing stand.
oh, we could put. Oh, and there's a bookshelf. I have one more bookshelf, so we maybe put a couple in there. Over here with the no, not in that chest. What do I want? I want with the wood. There's the wood. Some dark oak. Let's get some dark oak wood. Okay. So now we go back here. Now we go back here, and what we do. So that is still locked in on that side, and that is okay. Yes, I'm okay with that. So over here, what we do is, I am going to put down, we have some of the books. I'll put down some of the books, I think. We have 6 of the bookshelves. So we go 1, 2, 3, and then over here 4, 5, 6, and that'll work fine. And now here on the corner, I need to have oak wood, so we do that. And really, over here on this corner should be oak wood, so this is even going to look better than I started off with. And you need to break. Okay, good. So now this should be oak wood, so we go up to the 3 and then across. Whoops. Now we go across. And then after this, I think we maybe go check in on what Inedra's doing upstairs, because I have been talking and we have not been looking. Across like this.
I do not have a staircase up here anymore.
Oh, that's okay, because I have the noob staircase up there still, so I can come look. There's the books.
Okay. I'll need to break down the door for you then. I love it when you have exactly what you need in blocks. Like, I just have exactly the amount of
I also enjoy this.
oak wood slabs, and oh my god, it's just so perfect and satisfying.
Makes me feel like I did something right when that happens. It's like, oh look, I have precisely the right number. I have done my mathematics correctly. Oh, that's why I was breaking you in the first place. There we go. Breaking you to bring you down.
I made you a sort of like little makeshift door by the noob staircase.
Okay. The noob case. She made me the door by the noob case. There we go. And we put some more of the bookshelves here. And now I just put
also, it's very dark.
Very dark in the room. Oh, okay. I has light. I bring you light. I come now.